Well, distinguished guests and friends, it is a great honour and joy to be asked to speak here today at this session focused on the Asia-Pacific region. And at the outset, can I say that, like Dr. Fassler-Bend, I have a problem too. He, as an Austrian, is mistaken as an Australian, and I, as an Australian, is mistaken as Austrian. But it doesn't matter, because down in Australia, we love Austrians very, very much. At the outset, can I tell you that I would be remiss if I did not pay tribute to our hosts, the Universal Peace Federation, and I do so now pay that tribute. I pay tribute to the Reverend Sun Myung Moon, who conceived of the UPF, who founded it, who inspired it, who nurtured it. I pay tribute to his son, Dr. Young Jin Moon, who has taken up the legacy of his father. I pay tribute to Dr. Thomas Walsh, who gives his life and his heart and his soul to that great cause and the good things that it does. The truth is that it is hard to find any organisation anywhere that does more to promote peace and harmony in the world today than does the Universal Peace Federation. Peace between nations, peace between races and cultures, peace between diverse faith traditions. That's a mighty big task, and it does a mighty good job. And why does it succeed? Well, it succeeds because what it does with a pure heart. It does so without ulterior motives. And it succeeds because it knows beyond a shadow of a living doubt that the overwhelming number of people in this world, the massive majority of people in this world, give adoration to a living God, to one God, to an almighty and eternal, everlasting God, a God who always was and always will be, now and forever. They may not spend every second day in a church or a mosque or a synagogue or a temple, but they have a godly faith nevertheless. That's one thing that the UPF knows. But one thing is for certain. It is not a faith, the great majority, a faith that gives adoration to secular humanism or atheism or agnosticism. In most of the world, Marxism and communism are dead or dying, but God is alive and well. And the great majority believe in that as well. And the Universal Peace Federation succeeds because it knows that a foundation of civilization is the family. And when I mean the family, I mean the traditional family, a mother and a father and a children. In Australia, our law defines marriage as a union between a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others. And that's the way that it should be. The family unit is the rockbed of society. It's at the core of the core, and it's at the heart of the heart. It always will be, is now, and forever will be. Now, friends, I have only 7 minutes to reflect on what I regard as the self-evident truths and their relevance to the Asia-Pacific region, and the relevance of other factors as well. So I come here, it is true, with a predetermined view, a biased view. I certainly admit to that. And as Parliamentary Secretary for Justice in the Government of New South Wales, Australia's largest state, 1/3 of the population, I'm a member of a party called a Liberal Party. And when I say liberal, I don't mean small L liberalism, which has been hijacked by the left. I mean 19th century classical liberalism that equates to 21st century conservatism. And that to me equates to eternal and lasting values. I am a conservative in a conservative party. Now, in talking about the Asia-Pacific region, where Australia is, I want to say this. I want to say this come what may. Australia is proud of its alliance with the United States of America. They came to our defence in World War II. They gave protection to freedom in the Asia-Pacific region in the past, and they do so today. It is important that the United States presence remains in this region. It is an important ingredient to freedom and security in this area. The great Republic of Korea can testify to that very fact. It wouldn't be here today if it was not for that power and that goodness of the United States. You know, there are attacks made on the United States, I understand that, but it has been said that it is a great nation because it is a good nation, and I most certainly and 100% agree with that fact. Now, in focusing on the nations of the Asia-Pacific region, I believe that there are important factors or yardsticks which contribute to nations attaining economic prosperity and social cohesion and a good quality of life. The more of these factors that are present, the higher the well-being of those nations. And what are those factors? Well, they include, to my mind, free enterprise and the market economy. That is the only system that can bring economic prosperity necessary to produce education, medical support and social justice. Despite all of its imperfections, it is the greatest system, economic system, that the world has yet devised. Socialism has failed to bring prosperity, and they failed monumentally. They brought untold human misery as well. Can I say this? The question of whether countries in this region and other regions have knowingly taken on the free enterprise system. Well, indeed they have. Ask those nations, would they want to reverse it and go back to socialism? And I don't think you'd find a single country that would be prepared to do that. Ask the nations of Central and Eastern Europe, and I think you'll get a message loud and clear. Then it is also important for growth and prosperity that there be genuine democratic government and freedom of the individual. There should be the rule of law, an independent judiciary, a free press and limited government. Those things together will bring an open and just society. There should be opposition to totalitarianism and no submission to blackmail of terrorism. No, there is no freedom when we cower to terrorist thugs. And then another important yardstick is the upholding of the family unit and of family values, because they bring social cohesion and they stop social disintegration. And what good is economic prosperity if we have a social breakdown? And also, it is necessary for the upholding of religious tolerance, the rights of people to practice their faith freely, upholding God-inspired and God-centred values, which bring a humanity and a decency and a goodness to society. That is what I believe, and so does the party of which I'm a member, and so does the government of which I'm a member, and so does the nation of Australia, of which I am a loyal citizen. And dear friends, as I look at the Asia-Pacific region, I see these factors and these yardsticks present, and I see them multiplying. I see economic growth and the free market. I see that in the Republic of Korea. I see it happening in Mongolia. I see it in Japan, in Taiwan. I see it all over. And I see parliamentary democracy alive and well. Here in India we have the largest parliamentary democracy in all the world. We have religious freedom throughout India, despite its many, many religions. We see democracy starting to come to Burma as well. And then we see the little nations of South Pacific, Tonga, Samoa, Palau and others. They're not economic powerhouses, but they have a social cohesion because of their family traditions. We can learn a lot from those small nations in the South Pacific region. But one thing is certain. In the Asia-Pacific region, the age of totalitarianism and dictatorship is coming to an end. Its days are getting shorter. Time will come when their days are no more. An age of freedom and democracy is with us, and we should never bend to terrorism which will impede it. Now it may be one step backward, but then it's another 2 steps forward. This is a righteous cause, my friends, and righteous causes always win in the end. And nothing can stop that, and nothing will stop that. And friends, God willing, we can accelerate that day, so help us God. Thank you.